today's video, we are going to be taking care of my laundry room and my garage. These two areas are just a complete disaster and I need to get them functional. This was actually took place right after we moved in, and I just never had an opportunity to post this video, but it has a lot of great content. So I wanted to go ahead and get this edited and get it out there so that you guys can watch it and hopefully get some inspiration to tackle some really stressful areas. These are just areas that I do not want to take care of it. It's kind of like I don't even want to come in here and do laundry because this place is such a mess. There's stuff everywhere. I can't get to the items that I need, and so I finally broke down and I'm like, the two areas that have to be done today are the laundry room and the garage. And so I'm gonna start off by just clearing everything out of here and just give it a real good sweep, and then I'm gonna figure out what actually needs to be in here and where I can store the items that need to be in here. I'm coming from a much larger laundry room. We did have a lot of different functions for our laundry room in our older house just because we had a smaller house, and so there were arts and crafts and all types of stuff, but we had a really good sized laundry room. But now we've moved into the smaller one, and so it's just there's not a lot of space in here, and I really need to get it organized so that I can come in here each week and get all the loads of laundry done.
Just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire.
So for right now, I'm just gonna stick all my mops and brooms and all my tools over here to the side. I do eventually want to get something that hangs up on the wall. We might put it in the garage or we might put it in here. I'm not quite sure, but I do think it would be nice to have it in the garage because it would be easy to get it. It's right next to the laundry room, but then also it wouldn't be like all bulky and in the way. Like I said, I'm just trying to make more space in here just to make it a little bit easier. But I do set up this little cart. I'm not sure that this is going to last very long. I would rather put a shelf in here, not the wire one that's already up there, but maybe a wooden shelf or something like that above the washer and dryer, just because I feel like it would be easier to access everything.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.
Now that I got that cart set up the way that I like, I'm going to go ahead and get these curtains washed. They came from the other house, and I know they can just use a good washing, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw them in the washer real fast. And I'm going to introduce myself while I do that. My name is Amanda. I'm married to my husband, Justin. We have been married 3 years now. We've been together for 4, so Yeah, I have an 18-year-old daughter. I know it's crazy. I was really young, but I do. I have an 18-year-old daughter. She is a senior, and my husband has a daughter in middle school and grade school. So we are a whole house full of girls, and it is always a good time around here. But also, I want to do some thought-provoking questions on here. I've done it before, didn't get a huge response, but I'm hoping that if I continue to do it, then there might be some more response in the comments and things like that. I just think it would be so much fun. I really enjoy learning new things, and I just think it's so much fun to think about things. And I don't mean overthinking about things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just in general thinking about history and just things that have happened in your philosophies and stuff like that. I just think it's so much fun. And so my thought-provoking question happens to do with the Diary of Anne Frank. Everybody knows that book. It was a diary that was written by a girl that was going through the Holocaust. And so, everyone knows that book. We all read that book when we were in school. My question is, who published that book? Somebody had to have published it. How did that book, go from being in the middle of this war zone essentially to being a published novel? Like, that is a pretty incredible feat. It wasn't very typical that things like that were left untarnished. They were typically burned. It was very uncommon to have something like that left behind. So I'm just curious, how many of you know who published the book? How did the book come about? I mean, we all know who wrote it and where she wrote it, but after they came and got her and took her away, what happened to that book to where it's actually a published novel that we all read? I'm just curious how many people are aware or know, or I was shocked, completely shocked when I found out who published the book. So a little bit later, I'll tell you guys who, but for now, comment below and let me know who you think published that book.
You will see me flying high, staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. I've been saving you. You save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and save you.
So I know this looks like pure chaos, and it feels like chaos to me, honestly, but it's not. I have this system. What I'm doing is I'm actually grabbing everything and I'm just determining where it goes. Like that pile that I just set that in, that all goes inside. That's what it's meant for. The pile up against the wall, that's all going into the attic, and the pile that I'm moving outside of the garage, that all goes to the back deck. So, towards the end of us moving, we just kind of took everything and just started piling it in the garage. We were getting exhausted. You know how it is. It's so hard when you're moving. And so this is all the leftover stuff, just the random items that we were like, oh my gosh, we got to get this, we forgot that. And so we just shoved it all in here, and it has just been a mess ever since. And so I just got in here, and you'll see me. I'm doing my Superwoman pose. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. As I'm editing this, I realize how often I do that. I actually stand with my hands on my hip, and I'm just thinking this one. I'm like, what am I gonna do next? Like, where am I gonna go with that? I'm literally just thinking, but I call it my Superwoman pose because that's exactly what I look like. That's what I'm doing right now. Hands on my hips, like a superhero. But yeah, you can laugh at me all you want. I don't mind. It's hilarious. But I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do with the items. I'm just trying to be strategic with it and make these piles so that I have less work to do and I'm not running around with, a chicken with my head cut off. I actually have a plan. So I would rather take a few minutes and just think about, okay, where does this actually need to go than to move it 5 different times. So once I got all this stuff gone through, then I could just easily grab the piles and be like, okay, this all needs to go inside. This all needs to go to the back deck. And then the pile up against the wall, that all needs to go up in the attic. So that's all for my husband. He's going to come in and he's going to take care of that.
Just us two, me and you. Oh, 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 I can't believe you love me. Oh, 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 I just feel so lucky. Oh, 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 still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Nowhere I'd rather be than with you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. I bet you don't even know my name, but that's okay, I can't blame you. You've got better things to worry about, like kissing strangers when you go out, spending time with all your friends. Wish I had the guts to ask you out sometime, but I know this could never be. But if I am allowed to dream.
Now that I got all the piles sorted, I'm just going to go ahead and work on getting all of this stuff that I can out of here. Like I said, my husband will take care of all the stuff on the back wall that needs to go on the attic, or needs to go up in the attic. He'll take care of all of that for me. And there's some other things in here, like the ladder. They're still working on the deck, so the grill, we probably won't be taking that out of here right now since it's winter time. We're just going to leave all that stuff in here for right now. This is nowhere near Pinterest perfect, but it definitely works for us. It is cleaned out. We can park our car in here if it snows or anything like that. So it totally works for us for right now. And eventually I will be getting all this cleaned out. We have plenty of spring videos coming up. So if you're interested in seeing this get a little bit more organized and seeing some power washing and some deck makeovers, because all our deck should be fully done and ready to go. And so If you're interested in seeing any of that, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and all of that will be coming up this spring. But I did want to answer that question I asked earlier: who published the Diary of Anne Frank? And it was actually her father. Her father published the book. And what happened is they came and took them, and the secretary, that because they were actually in the father's, Anne Frank's father's work is where they were at. And so the secretary that worked down in the office, right after they came and took the family, she went in and she grabbed the diary and she kept it. And they all were sent away to their different camps. Well, her father ended up surviving. And so when he came home, he was looking for his daughters and his wife. He didn't know, because the men and the women went to separate camps. So he didn't know what had happened to them. And so when he finally found out what had happened to his wife and his daughters, he went to go tell his friends and his family. And when he told the secretary, she said, "I have something for you." And that's when she gave him the Diary of Anne Frank. And he actually struggled with whether or not he was going to publish it. And he did decide to publish it, but I believe there's only like 1/3. I could be wrong on that number, but there's only about 1/3 of the diary that's actually published. There was more to the book, but he just didn't feel like that was things that he should publish, which in all honesty, it was her diary. She did want to be a writer, and she did write well, but it was still her own personal diary. It was never meant to be published. So that's why he struggled so bad with whether or not he should actually do that. I think that's just such an incredibly neat story. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I were the father, and I could not only imagine what so many people had to go through during that very difficult time in our history. But just that book actually came out, and that it was survived that very horrible time, and we were all able to read it and to see what people went through during that time. I just think it's just a really neat story. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. How many of you guys knew that it was her dad that published the book? Comment below and let me know. If you stuck around to the very end, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you that like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me.